Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Guild Receptionist Season 1, Episode 5. I hate myself. I literally thought about how, occasionally I mess up this title, and I was like, I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to get it right. It's not a hard title. I'm just going to say it and go, and then I hesitated again. I don't know what's wrong with me. But anyway, fun stuff. Last episode, we had the Dark God is a relic, or at least they theorized he was a relic. He kind of broke like he was one. It seems like he was created by the ancestors and then killed the ancestors, killed its creators, so seems to be more of them out there. Although, I don't really think of a god as even I know they're called dark gods, but still has god in the name as something man-made. Kind of crazy, but yeah, maybe it's a self-given title. Everyone lived through the ordeal except for the Dark God and Rufus, but good riddance to the both of them. So, yeah, I guess, did we really have much aftermath stuff in regards to that? I guess we did, right? She went back to, doing overtime, and he came in with his, wounds and everything all bandaged up, and he helped her with some of her overtime and all that, so, but maybe we'll have more discussion on the matter or whatnot. But I'm looking forward to seeing where we go next in this goofy but sometimes serious show. So we're gonna start here, guys, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Oh, that's all the rage. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, you could die. Oh my god. Oh my god. You want to get a lunch. That deep breath to center yourself. uh, uh, camera angle? Chill. Oh. Is this the one where she obtained her Dia skill before? When she prayed? So dramatic. She's so gonna miss this. Okay. Let's go. The most interesting thing to me out of that dialogue was the fact that if she couldn't say no to that guy because if he filed a claim that would have given her more work. Does that mean that if someone has like a complaint against her, she is the one that files it? That's not how that's supposed to work. I wish it worked that way. Just like work at a job where like people like send in complaints and about you and you just take them and you're just like, all right, trash. It's like, let me figure out the punishment for this person. Nothing. Slap on the wrist. Alright. So are we rushing to the festival, or are we just building up to that for another episode? What? Is that Luludi? Oh my god, mandrakes! What is that outfit? Oh god. It's gonna be some, like, love potion or something. Hmm. Oh shit, yeah, that's right. Oh, okay, never mind. It looks even scarier than the last one. You guys remember the love potion episode of Fairy Tale? If you guys have ever seen the TV show Fairy Tale, I'll never forget it. It's crazy. I mean, obviously it wasn't. It was just that's what it flashed me back to when I saw some crazy concoction made by a girl in a dark room, and she's like, "Hey." Oh wow, looks good. Everything. Only functioning members of society are afforded this. Uh-oh. Uh, they must battle over it. Hmm. Went for the chocolate first, good choice. Oh, they didn't fight over it. Her voice is so, like, young sounding. It makes me wonder if that's, like, how the voice actress sounds, or if she puts on that voice. Oh, how nice of you. Only the healer can care about their comrades. Oh. Oh. I thought that was going somewhere else. Like, no, it's not because we're teammates. It's because I love him. I don't know why I keep going with the love angle. Very polite. Of course. I was like, we have to have Jade show up, don't we? That aside. Oh. Okay, so our house is repaired. Nice. It's feeling like we're having a little bit of a slower oh, shit. Maybe not? Who is that? No, leave Lululi alone! Who are you? Eye Patch Man. Hmm? Me, myself, and I, man. A death wish. Hey, man. Once again, I feel Alina so much. I am very much the type of person that does, like, things that are supposed to be group events, just do them alone, who cares? The Executioner, somehow. Yeah, how? Uh-oh. Is someone pretending? Yeah. Oh. Is she going... So she's going with the doll. I mean, hey. I'm not gonna mock her for it. Uh-oh. Oh no, Alina, no! Oh no, you spilled the water! That's what she was afraid of. Oh my god, look at all the papers. How did you file so many... Don't you send these guys on the quest or do the paperwork for the quests? Wouldn't you know by now what they all wanted? We have, like, the two other receptionists that don't talk at all. Oh, they have a new member? Sybil? Hopefully this one isn't a Rufus. No, don't turn your back to the monster! Oh, is it dead? Okay, my bad. I looked down to write something down. Oh, no, okay. I didn't think it died. Damn! That's an interesting wound. Oh no. Wait, what? Why now? Is this like a simulation of some kind? No. You don't want to lose your weapon. Back off. Get behind the tank. He's frozen. Oh shit! Why, yeah, why does it have this effect? That seems different, doesn't it? Okay. Uh-oh. That one's special, don't worry. So this was like practice, right? So, I mean, I guess she needed to talk to him, so she just killed it. He just runs off. Oh no! So he's just gone now? Oh. The groundless rumor. Yeah. Whatever happened with Eye Patch Man? Was he the one that started the rumor? I don't know. I don't know why he would, but I guess I don't know why he wouldn't either. I know nothing about him. Guys gotta talk about your problems, people. Oh, is it a recreation of her old one? Oh, nice. Yeah. Sonatori. Alright. Eating and working. She wants to go to the festival, man. No, because then it's overtime. Hmm. Right. Ah. So maybe it's the guy in the skull mask that we saw talking to Rufus in like a short flashback. Sorry guys, my dog's gonna be barking for a few. Normally he's not out at this time. What? It's like the thinking man. Oh my god. Okay. Alright. 6 days. Alright. Cool. Sorry about that, guys. I'm gonna, once the credits are over and I make sure there's nothing after, I'm gonna jump back to that scene with, Alina and, shoot, whoever she was talking to. I was so distracted that I missed the part of the conversation, so, um, let me send out a text real fast. Got a little bit of an interruption for the first time in, like, ages while recording. Alright, sorry about that. So yeah, we have the storyline leading up to the, what is it, the Continental Festival or whatever it is? Um, that is it for episode 5. Um, but yeah, so if we jump back, hold on, what is the okay, I guess I'm all set. It sounds like the dog's back in. Yeah, basically, um, family member is sick and they didn't want to have to let the dog out, so they asked if I could, but I was in the middle of a Centennial Festival. My bad. Let me write that down. I don't know why I kept like the first time I just skimmed it as like Continental, and then I realized I was wrong, and then that got stuck in my head. Okay. Yeah, family member is sick, so asked me if I could take the dog out in a text, and I didn't reply because I'm recording, so I don't usually pay attention to my text while I'm recording. And then they came down and they weren't sure if I could stop or not because during the day I stream on Twitch, which in that case I can stop, but when I'm recording these, since they're timer based and everything and you guys are synced up with me, I don't want to have to like pause and try to resync and everything. So I had to, I mean, you saw me in the reaction probably say like I can't do it right now. Um but I think they replied, but I couldn't hear super well, but I knew it had to do with the dog, and then I saw the text, so. Um, okay, so I did kind of miss a bit of this Dark God conversation. They talked about trying to make a new one, right? Let's just kind of like what do we got going on here? So, I'm getting today's overtime out of the way. Yep, I read this part. Shouldn't you save some of that for later? You handle quest acceptance forms faster than anyone. That's why you end up with more paperwork. Oh. That doesn't seem fair. Just reining it in enough to let those adventurers tell you their tall tales would result in a lot less work for you. Oh. Even if I do take my time processing them all, someone still has to deal with it eventually. But it doesn't have to be you, does it? I hate being cheap like that, okay. So, essentially, what this girl was saying, I don't even know if we know her name yet. Have we learned her name? Anyway, regardless, Alina seems to rush people through her line, essentially, and doesn't give them time to talk and tell their tall tales. So because she moves through the adventures so quickly, she has way more forms to fill out than any of the other receptionists, because the other receptionists take their time with each person in line, and if the person wants to tell one of their stories, they listen for a few, but because of that, she has more paperwork to get done at the end of each day, essentially, it seems like, and that's what's leading to her overtime. So, interesting that she has the way to solve it, but but yeah, so what was it that made her feel like it's cheap? Would result in a lot less work. If I do take my time processing them all, then someone still has to deal with it eventually. Uh, I don't. Okay, I don't understand that aspect. Because the way that I understood it was like each quest that she comes in, like the adventurer comes in, they stand in line, they get processed, and whatever she does there immediately, and then there's follow-up paperwork that has to be done later. That's how I took it, but maybe I'm understanding it wrong. Um, it doesn't really matter how her work happens. I mean, it is what it is, what they're saying. But it doesn't make sense to me that she said if she does take her time, then that means someone else has to do it. That's not necessarily true because you're processing less people. Like if you process, I mean, I guess technically eventually the people need to get processed and maybe that's what she's talking about is like that just means like if her line's going slower, that means someone else is gonna be getting more people in their line, I guess. Maybe that's what she means. It just didn't come through as clear in that regard, but that's interesting. I'm glad I went back to that dialogue um, because that is like an interesting insight into, you know, her character and her work ethic and how her work ethic is kind of what's causing a little bit of the problems. So okay, so she talks about she hates being cheap like that, and then that's the kind of thing that makes you so convenient to your employer. Yeah. Hmm. So really, in another way of looking at it, the uh what's it called? The the other girls are slacking in a way and not being as efficient in their lines, which is also leading to Alina having more work. If they were as efficient in their lines, then less would have to go. You know, if their booths were more readily available, like Alina's is, because she blows through people, so she probably never has much of a line. Or her line is always shorter because of how fast it's moving and stuff like that. If the rest of the people were as quick as her, then, you know, she would have less work as well. So, could look at it that way too, not just Alina's fault. Like, from the worker side of thing, it's like you should just slack more, but from the employer side of thing, the employer should be pushing the other receptionists to, like, you shouldn't, it should be against policy to, like, stop and, like, listen to adventurous tall tales and stuff. Like, that's not the place or time, you know? So, anyway. Um, and then we had this next conversation that I was a little distracted for too. So it's true this rumor and what Rufus said line up almost perfectly. I doubt it's a coincidence. His goal was to acquire a Dia skill, but the relic didn't exist, and a dark god was revived. Okay, so are they saying that this dark god was revived and not, like, because Rufus was feeding it souls? This dark god just hasn't been in there this whole time since the ancestors? Is that what they're saying? Hmm. Which means what the one who started the rumor is after is to revive a new dark god. Hmm. Dark gods are revived by okay, so they're saying this rumor about there being a relic that gives a Dia skill from this like secret quest. They're hoping that they can lure adventurers somewhere in order to kill them to get souls to revive a dark god. Is that what I'm taking? Dark gods are revived by consuming human souls. So they'd fool adventurers and have them look for a secret dungeon as sacrifices to a dark god. Hmm, okay. Oh, I didn't even realize that. They're all in the room talking that Alina's in. That's so funny. This stuff about secret quests and dark gods can't be discussed at the headquarters. We don't know who might be listening. Okay. and they have like some intel onto where the rumor started and all that. So okay, all right, all right. I think I'm caught up to what I missed. Sorry about that last bit, guys. That was me getting distracted. Yeah, the overall it was kind of a slower episode, but we just had a couple episode like heavier paced arcs and everything, but it was fun. Um, we had like her going to lunch, which was funny, and having there's always like I've experienced it too, where I'm about to like I think like there's been times where I'm cashing out the register and because like it's already past my shift and I'm closing the store and everything, and someone like walks up and wants to look around, and it's like, oh man, when I've worked retail before, but we're supposed to, I don't know, like I think I could have refused the customer, but I was trying to be nice, so I let him like look around and everything. But I'm sitting there the whole time, like, come on, man, like I told you that we were about to close so you can look for a couple minutes. That means that I should be going home, as soon as possible. But so I definitely understand her, like, especially going to lunch. Man, there were so many work days, like, I mean, obviously my employer could get in trouble for it, but where I worked alone in the store from open to close, like a 9 or 10 hour shift or something like that, where I open the store and then close the store, and I had to eat my lunch while working still. Like technically it was a retail job. We had a chair at the checkout, so it's not like I was like on my feet the whole day. It wasn't that difficult. Honestly, I didn't mind it. I would have complained or found a new job or something if it was like way more of a grind. So really just like, and it was a pretty slow store. It was a board game store. That's where I got most of the games that are behind me over there. Um, but it was mostly we had like one customer at a time, and like we'd have like 30 to 40 customers a day, so like through an 8-hour shift, which isn't a lot of customers. So there were always moments where I could find to like stop and eat, and and stuff like that. So, but I never really officially got like a clock out and just do my own thing, just like leave and go sit in my car, or sit in like the back room and just relax for an hour. It was never like that. It was always like, okay, I'm still like working, but I'm eating, right? But half the time we never even clocked out for like a lunch break or anything like that, which I know is very much illegal. You're supposed to get like 30 minutes per like 4 hours or something like that. So, um, but anyway. So my point is, I've definitely experienced the interruptions to lunch breaks and how sacred those can be sometimes, and then also the whole uh like not wanting them to file a complaint. Now, granted, she said she didn't want them to file a complaint because that's more paperwork she had to do. I talked about that a little bit already. That means she files them. That's hilarious. I've already kind of gone into what I wanted to talk about that. I think I talked about it during the opening, but that's just hilarious if that's how that works. That she's the one that files it, or maybe like maybe it wouldn't. Maybe it would go to her superior, and then she has to file like a paperwork as to why that complaint happened, like her side of the story. So maybe it's something like that, I guess, if I'm gonna try to give it some credit. But anyway. We found out her house is repaired, so that's good, and it seems like the guild took care of the costs or whatever, so she didn't have to pay for all that herself, so that's good. That would have sucked if she did, or she would have just had to find a new house. But then what happens to her mortgage? Like I don't know. Anyway, they had a new member for a very short amount of time, Sybil, who failed miserably at beating that hologram monster, saw how quickly the executioner was able to do it, and then just stormed off and was like, I need to get stronger! And just ran away. It's such an anime thing for, like, characters when they feel, like, embarrassed or, like, I don't really know the emotion to tie it to, but I feel like there's a lot of anime where characters just, like, run away yelling like that. Or sometimes it's when they're upset. I think most of the time it's when they're upset. But yeah. Anyway, I kind of already talked about the whole, like, you know, I went over the scene again with the rumored Dia-Skill quest, which seems to just be luring adventurers to their deaths in order to gain souls for a dark god to be revived. So we have a bit of that going on. I imagine that it's going to be something where, like, during the Centennial, I keep wanting to say it wrong, Centennial. I even have it written down and I was, like, reading it, and I couldn't read it right. The Centennial Festival to have some kind of interruption. I'm fully expecting that, so but we'll see. One of the big things is Lululi now having some, like, PTSD-ish flashbacks, which we never seen her have those problems before. Is it triggered by her party getting hurt? Because the flashbacks weren't of her party, right? It wasn't of the most recent event, I don't think. If I'm not mistaken. I can try to jump back to that scene if I can find it. I don't really know where it was, but I almost want to say it was before... No, it was after the rush. Because she hesitated after the rushes where this fight, took place. And he needed to be... Oh, here we go. And we have Lululi look at the wound. And then we have someone on the ground here. I can't tell who that is. Just another person. Yeah, this doesn't look like her party. This is like someone in like full armor, but it looks like they have black hair, not white hair like Jade. So it seems like this is someone else. And then there's another person who looks like they're missing an arm. If I'm not mistaken. Either that, or his arm is, like, under his other arm, like this. Or, like, maybe something like this, because I don't really see the other arm here. Maybe a little bit, there's, like, a little bit of white. That could be his arm, maybe he's just, like, hurt and he's holding his shoulder. I don't know. But yeah, it has, like, clothes torn on the shoulder blade, too, where it looks like the arm, like, used to be. So, I don't know, I wonder what that is. I wonder, is that her memories from something traumatic in the past? Or could there be something with the Dark God taking her powers and then receiving them back from him? Are her powers somehow, like, tainted? Because she was about to, like, use her magic, right? So, are her powers, like, somehow tainted with some, like, evil memories from the Dark God? I don't know. I think it's more likely that it's something simple, and that it's just her memories, something in the past that happened to her, and now with this most recent event, it's kind of made them resurface and all that. But anyway, yep, we have an agreement between Jade. Jade's gonna try to find the person that started the rumor, and I wasn't entirely sure whether she's gonna be helping. If Alina is going to be helping with that, or if their little message at the end there when they fist bumped, it was her like finishing all of her overtime as quickly as possible, and him finding the person that did the rumor, so that way they both can manage to make it there at least for a day, if not more than one day. On my own time, I may go rewatch that agreement a little bit too, because that whole second half of the episode, I was a little bit thrown by being interrupted. I didn't expect that. It's like never happened before. Make sure that I understand their whole arrangement and all that. But yeah, the only other thing that I didn't really talk about is Alina wanting to go to the Centennial Festival alone. And even though it's, like, this big hotspot for people who are couples and everything, like, I totally respect that. Like, I hate the whole like normalized like, oh, like these things you always have to go to with a partner, you know? Like it's there's like a I remember when I was young, I always cared more about appearances and everything, and I would never go see a movie alone because like there was like this connotation that like only losers go and see movies alone. But as I've gotten older, I don't give a shit anymore. I'll go see a movie alone. Um, doesn't bother me one bit. But I definitely like it still doesn't like that because of me thinking about that when I was younger. I still think about it a little bit where I'm like, oh, you know, like normal, like most people have someone to go to the movies with, and I'll think that to myself sometimes, but I'll still go if that's something I want to do, you know. So, but but yeah. Anyway, um, so I definitely like I once again another aspect of Alina's personality that I just resonate with. So she's an awesome character. I love being able uh to relate to a character so hard as I've talked about in several episodes at this point. But yeah, we're gonna have to wait to see more. So that's gonna be it for me, guys. Once again, sorry for that interruption in the second half of the episode. Hopefully it won't happen again. And if you enjoyed, hit that subscribe button. Check out my Patreon if you want to see more. Not for this show because I watch it as it's airing, but for a lot of the other shows on my channel, I have early access on there, and then I have Patreon shows which are unique to my Patreon, at least until I finish watching the entire show and all the previous shows that I'm releasing are done releasing, and then I will start releasing it, essentially. So, like, I finished not Breaking Bad, I'm sorry, Better Call Saul on my Patreon, and then I started releasing it to YouTube. Once that finishes, I already have The Last of Us done, and that will be coming out, and I have, like, a few other shows done, too. And then for anime, I'm releasing Symphogear right now. That was one that I watched the whole thing on my Patreon. I have all of Frieren done right now, and I have Season 1 and most of Season 2, or like part of Season 2 done of Solo Leveling. So once I finish releasing Symphogear, I'll start releasing Frieren, and then when Frieren's done, I'll start releasing Solo Leveling, but by the time that that's all caught up, there's like 3 more shows that are on my Patreon. So I know that's kind of long-winded and confusing, but essentially you can get access to shows like Frieren and Solo Leveling that won't be on my channel for a bit if you check out my Patreon through the Patreon show tier, and some other live-action shows like Last of Us, Watchmen, Shogun, and Expanse. So check that out. Links in the description below should be popping up on the screen, and I'll see you in my future reactions. Bye-bye.